Hello, my name is Skip, and this is from the Fourth Row's review of the incredible Burt Wonderstone. Now, Burt Wonderstone is about a little boy who he kind of gets picked on as a kid, and he meets another boy, and they they start to see a little bit of eye to eye. And when little Burt, gets a magic kit for his birthday, they both take that as, wow, there's something that we can do and that nobody can take away from us, and that's magic. And the magic kit is a Rance Holloway magic kit, and he's the big magician of the time, of the late '60s, early '70s. And Rance is played by Alan Arkin. And so these kids think, well, maybe someday we could become a magician. And so, fast forwarded to the late '70s, Anton and Burt are the biggest draws in Las Vegas, and they have sold out shows, and they have music and everything, that fancy songs from the '70s, and everybody loves them until, about the mid '80s, early to mid '80s. They start, or '90s, I guess you would say. They had their run of about a 10 or 15-year run, and then about the mid to late '90s, they start getting stale, and the audiences start going away, and they're not selling out the ballets. Doug Money gave them a show back in the early '80s, after the '70s being such a big hit. So he's kind of looking for some new talent, and this turns out to be a big problem for Burt and Anton. So they end up having an argument, and they end up separating. And unbeknownst to Burt, he doesn't have any money left. He's spent all his money on these lavish hotel room and all these different fancy bed and all this other stuff, and he doesn't have any money, so he has to go and do little birthday parties and old folks home, do magic trick at old folks homes and stuff like that. And Anton ends up going to a third world country, trying to bring magic to a third world country, and all they want is food and water. So in this whole mess, Burt ended up getting a new assistant, played by Olivia Wilde, and she was like them when she was a kid. She just wanted to be a magician, so she looked up to Burt and Anton. Jane did, but of course, Burt's ego scorns her, and she ends up going off and working for the biggest act out there, the most controversial magic guy out there, and that's kind of like a mix between David Copperfield and Chris Angel, Mind Freak, and that's Steve Gray, played by Jim Carrey. Now, Burt, played by Steve Carell, and Anton, played by Steve Buscemi, they think that Steve Gray is somewhat of a abomination, because he hurts himself, and he does pain magic, I guess you would, or illusions involving pain and blood and stuff like that. And so they don't think that's real magic. But they don't have a choice anymore, because Doug Money, played by James Gandolfini, is going to open up a new casino in Las Vegas called Doug, and he's going to audition everybody for the headlining role of at the new casino. And Steve Gray's got this great act and whatnot. So in one of the gigs that Burt does at an old folks home, he, unbeknownst to him, Rance Holloway is living at the old folks home, and he kind of gives Burt a little bit of rejuvenation, I guess you would call it, and it starts making him believe that why he got into magic, and why it means something to him. And so they recruit Jane back up, who doesn't like working for Steve Gray, Jim Carrey. And so between the three of them, and they end up recruiting Anton back, getting back together to say, we can do it, we can make this big, be the headliner again of Doug, the New Casino. Now, there's some good laughs, and there's some funny moments, and in the acting's okay. It's not great, it's okay. You know, you're talking about a comedy, and it's nice to see Jim Carrey back again, you know, and I had fun with Burt Wonderstone. I'm not saying it's the greatest movie of all time, but it's not the worst movie of all time. I'm going to give the Incredible Burt Wonderstone a mild see it. This is Skip, and this has been my review of Incredible Burt Wonderstone.